This podcast contains strong language and adult situations. If that's not your thing, you've been warned.
Welcome to the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Jay.
Have you ever had a bad day at work?
Well, in this podcast, we share your weird, wonderful, and sometimes horrific stories from the workplace.
Which may leave you thinking, maybe I don't have it so bad after all.
Maybe not. Let's do this.
Let's get into it.
Hi, fuckers.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to our show.
Season 3, Episode 10.
That's right. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm good. It was a rough Monday. I was really tired.
We're recording on a Monday, which is abnormal for us.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. I fell asleep easy last night, but I just felt like my sleep wasn't very deep. And also, I had a cat who was not into me sleeping last night very much.
Yeah. What was she doing?
She ran directly, didn't run. She used the side of my face because I was sleeping on my side. She used like the side of my forehead, like my temple and my cheek as a stepping stone to get on me. and then like sat down and turned around and looked at me like, I'm so cute.
Pet me.
Yeah.
I'm so pretty. Pet me.
And it was the middle of the night. And there was a few times, and like I'm not blaming her for not sleeping well. She didn't help by waking me up, but when she woke me up, it wasn't like she startled me awake. It was like I was halfway awake anyway.
Yeah.
So I just don't think I was sleeping very well.
I think I've just kind of been okay with the fact that I'm never going to have like a good night's sleep anymore. I don't know if that's just getting older, or it's just like I can't remember the last time I woke up feeling refreshed and like, wow, that was a good sleep I had. It's been a very long time.
The only time I ever wake up and feel like I got really good sleep is when I take like a 20-minute nap.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh man, that was good. And I'm like, 15 minutes? What the fuck?
Getting old stupid.
Yeah.
It's real dumb.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So before we get into the stuff that we do, we have mentioned before Podchaser on past episodes. So Podchaser is kind of a place where you can go and listen to
chase pods.
You can chase pods. You can listen to pods. You can follow pods. You can rate and review them. And for the month of April 2022, for every review that you leave, they are going to donate 25 cents to World Central Kitchen. So if you haven't rated us over there yet, go on over there, podchaser.com. You can search Fuck My Work Life. Rate your other favorite pods.
Yes,
it's so easy to just leave a quick review. I love you. I hate you. And 25 cents will be donated to World Central Kitchen.
Go rate and review every pod you've never heard of before.
I mean, it's for a really good cause. If you don't know about World Central Kitchen, they are a non-profit, non-governmental organization, and they're devoted to providing meals in the wake of natural disasters. So currently providing support for families in the Ukraine and for the refugees in the surrounding countries around Ukraine.
Yeah.
So please, please, please go give us a review on Podchaser. Go give your other favorite pods a review on Podchaser and give that money. All right. So Jay, we already mentioned it's a Monday. As much as I tell myself I'm not going to drink during the work week, we're recording. So
yeah,
I'm drinking. And why do we drink?
Because we work.
We drink because we work.
And other reasons.
So why are you drinking, Jay? No, what are you drinking, Jay? Let's not go into the why. We'll be here forever.
When I was like 8 years, no.
What are you drinking, Jay?
I am drinking.
Excuse you?
Sorry, it's my allergies.
Mm-hmm.
White Claw. I'm drinking White Claw.
What's a manly drink?
Whatever. You know what? At this point, I get shit for drinking Coors Light. And so what the fuck ever, if I want to drink canned, whatever you want to call the seltzer, if I want to drink if I want to drink a White Claw, I'm going to drink a White Claw, and everybody can give me shit and I'm okay with that, and
Yeah.
that's all I have to say about that.
What flavor you got there?
Watermelon.
Ooh, watermelon. That's one
I
of the.
thought it was the passion fruit, but
You didn't like the passion fruit, though.
yeah, but I'll still drink it.
So
I just want to have more than you do.
Yeah, okay. So you had a tangerine and a watermelon. I like the passion fruit, the new flavor. It's kind of weird, but I like it.
That's her way of telling me not to drink the last one.
Oh, no, you can have it. It's fine. Do you want to know what I'm drinking?
What are you drinking, Kay?
I am drinking Monty Python's Holy Grail from Black Sheep Brewery out of the UK. This is an amber gold ale tempered over burning witches.
Yeah, I know. I fucking cracked up when I saw that. I saw it in the fridge and I was like, what is that? It's got to be a beer because it was in like the tall cans 4-pack. And I read it and I was like, tempered over burning witches. That's nice. And she was like, Monty Python. Unfortunately,
you've never seen one.
Yeah, my childhood was very closeted. I mean, it wasn't so closeted.
We're going to have a Saturday where we watch that.
Like, I've seen bits and pieces of it.
So funny. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
It's like the kind of like slapstick British comedy.
Oh, it's my favorite. The top of the can says, your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. It's a hilarious movie and it's a delicious beer. I think all beer should be tempered over burning witches. Nothing against witches. More power to you.
Yeah, you should just
ladies.
Be set on fire and beer should be made over you. But nothing against you.
No. Anyway, it's a delicious beer. I like it. I'm going to see if I can find more of this. I was wandering through Bevmo and I saw a Monty Python and I was like, I don't care what it is. I'm getting it.
Do we know where Black Sheep Brewing is? Is it a San Diego beer?
No, it's out of the UK.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the UK.
Okay.
Somewhere. It doesn't say where in the UK on the can.
Because when you told me, it's a Monty Python beer, I was like,
brewed and canned.
I thought they just did movies.
Wait, here we go. Wait, Canada? Is that considered the UK?
Oh.
Brewed and canned by Black Sheep Brewery, Main Street, St. John, NB, Canada. And then imported exclusively by Eurobrew. But then the email address is blacksheepbrewery.co.uk. So I don't fucking know. Anyone in the UK who's listening, let us know. It's good though.
Well, isn't Canada still under?
I think
British
she's
rule?
under the Queen. She under the Queen, but it's not considered is it considered the United Kingdom? I don't fucking know.
I don't fucking
know. I don't know how shit works.
Look, I got out of school to not do geography anymore.
Or like world politics and shit. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Anywho. Drink. That's my drink.
I'm going to actually drink.
I'm going to drink.
Because I have morals.
I'm going to drink beer out of my straw. I'm going to have a sip. Ew. No.
What? I was just hitting the bong.
No. I was having a Twitter conversation with our pal Dawn at Scottish Murders about how much we hate mouth noises and that we must be twins separated at birth because we have very similar feelings about that and other things. But Dawn's great. Go listen to Scottish Murders. Do you want to get into your weekly distraction?
Sure.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first.
Okay. What's your weekly distraction, Jay?
Well, like before, we've mentioned on the podcast and on other podcasts that I do custom paint, and I got a tank and I painted it. And
a motorcycle gas tank.
A motorcycle gas tank. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like a practice tank / portfolio tank. So I'm trying to build a portfolio so I can put myself out there and show the work that I can do and try to drum up business with it. And I learned this weekend, the hard way, obviously, that color coordination before you start painting is important. Very fucking important. Because I did this tank, and I'll post pictures on Twitter. I did this tank, and like I did the gold metal flake to start off, and then Yes, I know. All I do is metal flake, but the metal flake ends after this one, and then I'm going to go into just traditional colors. Anyway, another story. So I did the gold metal flake, and then I did all my tape lines and did 2 different types of lace, and then I did like a dragon scale stencils on it. And when I did the lace, I was like, gold and green look good. They look good together. So I did the green candy over the lace, and then I did a different lace, and I was like, I haven't used this Diablo color that I have. Most of you can probably guess what color Diablo is. The Diablo color is red. When you spray these things, they don't really pop until you put the clear coat over it. So I sprayed the green, wasn't really popping, sprayed the red, pulled all the little fine line tapes off to show the gold underneath, and clear coated it, and then came in, got a beer, walked back out to the garage.
Well, you also clear coat it like in the garage, right? Like not out in the sunlight?
No, not out in the sunlight. No. So I clear coated it in the garage, walked into the house, got a beer, went back out. The shit looks like a fucking Christmas ornament. Gold, black, like it's got some black in it. I did some black lines. Gold, green, red with a little black. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And the thing is when I clear coat it, I hang it from a hook. And so it's hanging upside down, and it's a motorcycle gas tank. So it's like round and skinny ornament on the top and fat on the bottom. I was looking at it, and there was a guy coming out of the laundry room, and he was like, wow, that looks really good, man. I was like, well, this shit looks like Christmas. He was like, yeah, it looks like Christmas, but it still looks good.
That's funny.
So I'm naming this tank Santa's Sleigh.
There you go.
S-L-A-Y.
Ooh. Oh, girl.
Ooh. Yeah, so that's been my weekly distraction.
So my weekly distraction, good friend of mine has started kind of organizing a monthly craft night. So some ladies get together, we drink a lot, and eventually we get around to doing a craft. And so the last craft we did was macrame, and we made a hanging macrame plant hanger, which turned out pretty cool. And now I'm obsessed with macrame, and I am in the process of gathering the supplies and doing whatever, my YouTube research, because I want to make a big macrame wall hanging. And so, yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and looking up for ropes and stuff online, trying to find some wooden dowels, which apparently are hard to find right now, which is stupid. But yeah, so, I mean, just to add to like my grandma type crafts, I love crochet, and now I'm like big into macrame.
Yeah.
So that's been my distraction mostly this week. It's fun. Like it's real. It's simple. It kind of reminds me of making friendship bracelets when you were a kid. It's kind of like the same concept with the knots. It's just bigger version.
I know when you first were saying you were going over to our friend's house to make macrame, I was thinking like, my simple mind is like, oh, paper mache.
Oh.
Macrame. It's probably along the same lines. That's probably what it is. And then you were telling me it's like, the ropes and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I still don't know.
Just think 70s wall decor.
Yeah. I was like, I still don't know what it is. And then you came home with it, and I was like, or you showed me pictures, I think.
I don't know.
No, you came home with it because you hadn't finished it, but you came home with it. And it's actually pretty cool because it's like you kind of tie different knots to make different designs in the ropes.
You can do spirals and other shit. All right. So if you guys would like to share your weekly distractions, just hashtag weekly distraction. Oh, and I forgot to say, you can also hashtag we drink because we work. If you'd like to share what you're drinking. So we have some voicemails that we have been ignoring. Not ignoring. There's just been like
haven't found a place for them.
I mean, yeah, like we had like our April Fool's thing didn't really fit in there. Whatever. For whatever reason. But so now we want to catch up on some of our voicemails. So the first one comes from our buddy Zach. He was on our podcast last season. He's kind of like the all-around podcast guy.
Yeah, we call him Butters.
Butters. Oh, because he's got that buttery
Because he's
voice.
got that buttery voice.
Zach Butters. So let's listen to that.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Kay. This is Zach. I had one job, and that was to, leave a message saying congratulations on your 100 episodes, and I failed to do that. So, a week late, but congratulations on your year or your 100 episodes. We don't really know, do we? You gave us instructions, but we don't pay attention. We just say what we want. But I do have a fuck my work life story for you as well. Many years ago, for a different radio station, I brought a bunch of chicken wings in after a Super Bowl party, and they were enough that they could be shared by people days later. A coworker of mine who was hungry and looking for food, I mentioned, I have some leftover wings. Why don't you go and grab a couple? He proceeded to not just grab a couple, he proceeded to open the container, separate them, count them out, touching every single one of them before deciding which wings he wanted to eat.
What?
Normally this would bother me a little, but this bothered me a little bit more because with this individual that I worked with weeks prior, I had walked into the bathroom while he was already in there, went to go use the urinal. He finished up while I was walking in and proceeded to just leave the bathroom without washing his hands. And he also came out of the stall. So this individual who went and then touched all of my chicken wings, I never had any of those wings, so I went hungry that day. So that's my work life. Congratulations on your 1,000 episodes or 7 years of, I don't fucking know, whatever. Bye-bye.
Oh my
Thanks,
God.
Zach.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it's disgusting.
I'm at least glad you witnessed it and you didn't eat those chicken wings because, you wouldn't have known any better, but still, imagine eating those chicken wings and then like having that experience with him in the bathroom afterwards. And then you're just like, oh God, I ate those wings. People are fucking gross, but thank you for your voicemail.
It's disgusting, but I'm not surprised. There's probably worse shit that goes on. There's probably people who pick their nose, don't wash their hands, and then rummage through food. I guarantee it.
I don't know about rummaging from food, but this is a story. I did not experience this personally, but I heard through coworkers about someone who they were working with who they would just watch pick their nose and then wipe it under their desk. And there was just, when they moved out, someone had to go in there with a rag and clean up all of the fucking nose goo.
This is current workplace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So that's disgusting. People are disgusting. It's almost even worse now because so many people, well, one, they're used to being masked and now they're not masked.
Yeah.
So now there's just like weird habits that are coming out, or the people that were used to like not being around people. But anyway, thank you, Zach, for your voicemail.
Yes, thank you.
If y'all remember a few episodes ago,
we had a story from George from That Rainforest Company, and he sent us a voicemail updating us.
we asked him for more information because he called us from what he called the suicide room. Was that what he called it at Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
And we were just like, dude, we need to hear some updates. So because like it took a couple months because he left us that voicemail right after season 2 ended. So it was a few months before it was played. So he wanted to just give us a little update. So let's listen to that now.
Hey, fuck my work life. This is George calling again to follow up on the call about Amazon. One, I don't work there anymore, but it's not because I thought I was talking crap about our overlord, Jeff Bezos, or anything. No, I ain't left and moving to Texas and stuff like that. But I sent that voicemail like, 5-6 months ago or whatever, and I found another place. I found another company that's worse than Amazon. Yeah, that's really surprising, actually. Right now I work at Walmart, which is the other slave owner, but that's not the place. The one that's worked company that's worse than Amazon at this place called Pilgrims, which is like a chicken production company, right? I'm not gonna go into detail about like what they do there because I don't think I can legally or whatever. But they're worse than Amazon because they're like mandatory 6 days, 12 hours a day. Sometimes you have to do both days on the weekend, so it's like 7 days a week.
Jesus.
So you're just at home, and yeah, Amazon is like, yeah, you're working the same amount of hours, but the difference is they have this little drug called VTO and voluntary time off. I've done drugs back in college, and VTO is probably just one of the strongest ones out there. It's so addicting, and Pilgrims has nothing like that. You have to work all them times, or you just don't got a job, and it's just a pain. I didn't last a week. I left. Now I'm back at Walmart, safe place, which is a weird thing to say. But hey, thanks for letting me call again. See ya. Listen to y'all later.
George, buddy.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm glad you got out of Amazon. Sounds like the chicken place was fucking terrifying.
does he live in America?
Yes. This shit happens.
I know.
In America.
That's the disgusting part is like you have these companies that break laws and break rules, and it's basically forced labor that they force on their employees. And if you decide to do anything about it, well, we will fucking bury you because
we have lots of money.
We have lots of money. And we know how to work the system, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And it's fucking disgusting.
It is. I'm glad Walmart is working out for you. I'm guessing it kind of sounds like maybe this was some sort of factory farm type place. And I know, one, their treatment of animals is horrible, but their treatment of the humans that work there are fucking horrible as well.
Yeah, but you can expect that because the animals are what make them the money. And they treat them like shit.
Yeah.
So how the fuck do you think they treat the employees who process the animals?
I mean, we're all part of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We're all one, man.
Yeah, man. It's a fucking government, man, with all their fucking papers and shit.
Yeah, man. Okay. Thank you, George, for your update. Okay. So we have a story from a listener that I'm going to read. This one is called The Clean Room.
Ooh.
This story goes way back when I was about 21 years old. I was working for my dad, who had a little shop where he created and invented things involved in the TV/broadcast world. He developed one of the first flight helmets with a mounted mini TV camera for the military, decades before the GoPro. My dad had no employees other than my older brother and me. Cheap labor, I guess. But we were young and needed the work. So my dad built a clean room inside his shop to work on sensitive electronic items that had to be free of any dust or dirt. The room had 2 sets of doors to get into the clean room area. All the walls and ceilings had to be painted with white glossy enamel paint, and I was the lucky one who was voluntold to do that task. On my day of painting, I brought a radio in to keep me company as my dad would be out all morning with meetings. For some unknown reason, I closed both sets of doors into the clean room, turned on the radio, and got down to painting my day away. That sounds like a bad combination.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a good old time painting and listening to some great rock and roll music. After a while, I started to notice the songs started to sound a bit odd. Some seemed to be much longer than usual, and some faster, and some slower. My mind started to visualize all sorts of strange images.
So the song started to make pictures too?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I do have a creative visual mind as it is, but this was a bit more like Fantasia on steroids. Fantasia is like one long fucking acid trip. And I've never done acid.
Yeah, I remember as a kid watching Fantasia, and the whole time I was like, and I was little, maybe like 8.
It's fucking
9.
weird.
I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right?
Like this, okay, it's a cartoon, cool. It's a cartoon, but it's just a bunch of brooms dancing on rainbows and fucking teacups and like
flowers singing.
Yeah,
And this was Disney animators on fucking acid.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but this was a bit more like Fantasia on steroids. But the music was good, and I was having a great time just painting away. Time seemed to slip away. I then turned off the radio to allow the silence to play with my creative juices and let my thoughts wander where they may. Painting the ceilings and walls, I was just totally enjoying myself. Yeah, man. Jay's swaying. He's picturing the scene.
Yeah, man.
Then suddenly, I hear a loud voice I didn't immediately recognize saying, you should keep those doors open to allow some fresh air and ventilation into this room. Was it God? No, it was just my dad.
Are you God?
It's God, man.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Are you high right now?
It was just my dad, but it freaked me out so much that I soon realized I was higher than a kite. I couldn't feel my body, and I tried very hard to keep what cool I had left and acted as if I were just fine. I was far from it. I noticed I'd been painting for just over 2.5 hours in that sealed clean room filled with fumes of ecstasy. My dad exited, and I soon followed, leaving that chamber of psychedelic visions to finally get some fresh air. I could barely walk. My dad said he had to go back out, and if I'd man the phones in the front office. Sure, no problem,
Your
I
dad
told
was
him.
high too.
Yeah, your dad.
Kid just comes out of a fucking sealed room painting, and you're like, answer the phone.
Yeah, you're fine. Suck it up, buddy. Answer the phones. After he had gone and I was sitting in the front office with my head still spinning around, hoping nobody would call as I'd be afraid of what I might try and say. Would it be coherent English or some alien clicking language? I then went into the bathroom, and as I looked into the mirror, I suddenly didn't recognize the reflection. I had a beard at the time, but who was that in the mirror? My dad had a razor in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Shit. So I thought if I shaved this beard off, I'd recognize myself. So I shaved it off right then and there, but I still didn't know who I was looking at. I returned to the front desk and waited for this self-induced enamel paint high to fade away. My dad finally returned and said, "Oh, you shaved your beard off. Why did you do that?" I couldn't think of a good answer. I just told him,
because it wasn't me, man. It wasn't fucking me, man.
Fucking man in the mirror
I just
told
went
me,
to
man.
go take a piss, dude, and I fucking freaking out, man.
Who was this fucking hairy dude in the mirror? I returned to the... Oh, no, wait. Shit. You shaved your beard off. Why did you do that? I couldn't think of a good answer. I just told him. A little voice in my head said it was a good idea. Normal life finally returned to me later that day. I learned a very important lesson in life those many long years ago. To this day, I've never bought a can of white, glossy enamel paint. Oh, man. Oh, man.
That sounds like so much fun.
No, it does not.
I remember when I was a kid and my stepmom, my dad never made anybody do anything, but my stepmom would be like, okay, it's your turn to clean the bathroom. And she would give me the Comet and she would give me the Windex, and I would go in the bathroom and I would sprinkle the Comet in the bathtub and the toilet. And then I would spray the toilet with the Windex and spray. I didn't fucking know.
You mixed both?
And then I would stand in there and scrub everything with Windex, and it's like ammonia and then the bleach that's in the Comet.
How are you alive?
Oh man, I was and here's the crazy thing. Here's when my parents knew that something was wrong with me. I would get charged up after cleaning the bathroom, like charged up, like running around the house,
like a little crackhead,
like go outside, play with my BB gun.
Oh, shit.
Like, I was
keep weapons away from you.
The fuck up after that shit.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, but it was so fun.
It was the 80s. They were like, whatever.
Yeah.
Go fucking.
It was like mid 80s.
Here's some bleach and ammonia.
Like,
Go have fun.
Yeah. I'm locking the door, by the way, when you go outside.
We're gonna close this door. Oh man. Okay, so we have another story that came to us through voicemail. But before we listen to that, because it came to us from our pal Leo over at Voluntary Input, we're going to listen to his promo and then we're going to listen to his story.
That's right.
So let's do that.
Yes.
Are you a nerd? Are you a person? Then check out Voluntary Input, where we not only have open discussions about tech, TV, movies, and gaming, but also open discussions about people, and sometimes with the people behind the tech. Catch new episodes with me, Leo Allen, bi-weekly on Tuesdays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Good Pods, and pretty much everywhere else you listen to podcasts. And be sure to check out videos of every episode on YouTube and Twitch. Simply go to voluntaryinput.com to find all the ways you can listen to us, contact us, and better yet, select register as a guest to be a guest on the show, because we are always looking for great guests like you.
Never forced, never coerced. Welcome to Voluntary Input.
All right, make sure you go check out Voluntary Input. It's a great, insightful podcast. And now let's listen to Leo's story.
What's up, J&K? This is Leo from Voluntary Input. Look, guys, I got a story for you. I've been meaning to call, first of all, for some time now, and I'm just going to share one of my work stories with you because you guys are asking for them. So anyway, many moons ago, yes, it was a long time ago, I was working for a certain restaurant, a restaurant known as, let's just say it was called, it's referred to as Fancy Like. During this time at this Fancy Like restaurant, partying after hours was a huge deal. As a matter of fact, the management staff would always partake in parties. We would have some of the craziest turkey bowl parties and everything else. Anyway, this particular story I wanted to share with you, what would happen was, from time to time, there were a lot of college students who were rolling in and out, as you can imagine. And some of these students would, they didn't all stay on campus, so sometimes they would have condos or apartments in the area. Now, the thing about the Ohio area where I live is, sometimes there's these residential developments that spring up within farm country. Because here's the thing, let's be honest, farmers own most of the land. And so what would happen is they would sell off parcels of this land and they say, you know what, you can build your development as long as I get to continue to farm on the land. That being said, this particular story involves a friend who had a condo that immediately butted up against a full-fledged cornfield. Now, that doesn't sound like much, I know. But the thing people have to remember is, during this time of this particular party, the cornfield was in growth season, not harvest season. And this will make sense towards the end of the story. But anyway, one night, this particular friend at the restaurant decided he was going to invite everyone over for a party after work. We would close at like 10 or 11 o'clock. Everybody bring your own stuff, BYOB and BYOC, by the way, which meant bring your own case. Bring your snacks, blah, blah, blah. Let's all get together, hang out, just have a great time, have a party this night. So, yeah, great plan. So we closed up the restaurant. We all made our way there. We're bringing all of the alcohol. We're bringing snacks. There was a small grill going, nothing too impressive, just a small Weber grill if anybody wants to throw on some burgers or whatever. So we all get together and we're having a great time. Now, in the meantime, of course, I'm a single guy. There's all these single guys. There's single girls. It's kind of a hookup party. It's a party, We're all young, having a great time. So anyway, there's one particular girl that's there. Her name's Casey. Casey was the hotness at the time. All the guys were kind of pawning over Casey. And she's there with her friends. And we're all just having a good time. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy. But eventually, out of nowhere, Casey says, hey, guys, let's go out in the cornfield and play hide and go seek. So, of course, everybody's like, yeah, not everybody, but a lot of us were like, yeah, let's go out in the cornfield and play hide and go seek. So a big group of us run out off the back patio into the cornfield to go play hide and go seek because, like foolish, crazy guys, especially us guys, there were girls that did it too. We're running out in the cornfield trying to hang out with cool Casey, the hotness. Again, this is during growth season of corn. This is important. Remember, this is growth season, not harvest season. So anyway, we're all running around, having a good time. It's not really hide and seek. It turns more into a tag game. We're all just running around, kind of screaming, laughing, having a great time, trying to chase each other down. Next thing we know, it's just going on and on. And we finally get bored of it. So we all decide to head back to the condo. Casey makes her way back to the condo first. Next thing we know, the rest of us that haven't made it back to the patio area of the condo yet, we hear screams. We hear Casey's best friend who happened to be there start screaming. And she's saying, Casey, your face. What happened to your face? So, of course, the rest of us are like, oh, my gosh, Casey's face. What happened to Casey's face? We're trying to figure it out. What in the heck happened to Casey's face? So we all start running back to the condo. We make our way back. We open the doors and we all walk in, the rest of us that were out there playing tag or hide and go seek or whatever you want to call it. And there's Casey standing there like, what? What's going on? Her friend is freaking out. Casey, what happened to your face? And the rest of us, there's like 10 of us just standing there. We're kind of stunned. You see, Casey, her face is covered in blood. She almost looks like the scene out of Carrie when the blood gets dumped on her. And her clothes are like ripped up. Her friend quickly grabs her and is like, Casey, come here, and takes her into the bathroom. Next thing we know, we hear screaming from the bathroom coming, obviously, from Casey because she just realized what is going on. The rest of us are like, oh my gosh. And at that point, I look down and I noticed my clothes, my pants I'm wearing, my shirt, I'm all sliced up. I've got blood on me too. And the rest of us start looking around at each other like, oh my gosh, it's us too. Here's the thing, guys. This is what happened. Remember I said at the beginning of the story, this was growth season of corn. And it was important to remember. Because here's the thing. You know what, during Halloween time when people go to corn mazes and you're running around through that maze, that's harvest season. The corn has already been harvested. The stalks are brown and they're dry. During growth season, corn stalks are tall, green, and those freaking leaves are sharp as razors. We were running through, basically getting sliced up by tall corn stalks. And that was the year I learned why you don't run through a cornfield, especially if you're not running on the paths that the farmers have carved. So whenever you guys see movies where people are running through cornfields and they come out the other side and nothing has happened to them, if that cornfield they're running through is green, that movie is a lie. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I just wanted to share that story. I wanted to eventually share one work story with you guys, and that was the one that came to mind. Love the show. Take care, guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Leo.
Thank you, Leo. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
So what is that? What is that restaurant?
Olive Garden?
Because we fancy like Olive Garden on a date night. Right? That's it, right?
Applebee's.
I know.
I know.
We figured it out.
Also,
Your
both
code.
both of those are not very fancy like.
I mean, they're not. Because they fancy like Applebee's. Okay, we're not going to get into the...
No, you're not going to get that shit stuck in your head because you're going to get it stuck in my fucking head again.
I used to know the TikTok dance.
Cool.
But I don't... Anywho, thank you, Leo, for your story. That is a great story. That poor Casey.
I thought for sure
Hot Casey got her face all fucking slashed up.
I thought for sure Hot Casey was going to come out of the cornfields and she was all bloody, and then behind her little Isaac would come out. Do you remember
Was that from Children of the Corn?
Children of the Corn? That was like the leader of the little kids who fucked everybody up.
Crazy corn kids.
We should watch those movies again.
Maybe our neighbors' kids are Children of the Corn. Okay, thank you so much. We are now going to get into 4 more states. We've got a lot of states to get through for our weirdest jobs by state. But before we get into our next 4, we did get an update.
Yes.
So I don't remember what episode. I think it might have been our 1-year podiversary episode where we did the state of Iowa. We had friend of the pod, I won't say their name, friend of the pod emailed us because they live in Iowa and they had some weirder jobs for us. So you want to read that, Jay?
Yeah. All right. Hey, just catching up on the podcast. I heard your first anniversary episode in your weird job for Iowa. There has to be a weirder job than windmill tech in Iowa. I mean, I know a guy whose job it is to taste fruit roll-ups. That's pretty fucking cool.
Didn't we have a food taster job in some state, or was that dog food?
I think it might have been like dog biscuits, or I don't know.
Well, there was a dog food taster, but I think there was also a separate flavor taster somewhere.
Yeah, there was something.
I'd eat fruit roll-ups all day for a job. That sounds dope.
I wouldn't. My heart would fucking race. Like all
Too
the
much sugar. Yeah.
So I know a guy whose job it is to taste fruit roll-ups. Even that is weirder than windmill tech. I'll keep thinking about it and asking people and get back to you. Congratulations on 1 year, by the way.
Thank you.
And then they wrote back.
I mean, I do want to say that, yes, tasting fruit roll-ups for a job is definitely weirder than windmill tech.
I mean, I think they're along the same lines. Like, you don't hear of fruit roll-up taster, but also like...
Wait, yeah, windmill. Like wind turbine things.
Yeah, windmill. Yeah.
Not like a windmill, like picturesque, right? It's the weird alien looking, right? There's a difference, isn't there?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay.
A windmill.
So
the big long poles with the propellers and the wind.
Right. But then there's also the that's a hard word for me to say. Windmills.
That's a hard word.
I want to say windmills. Windmills that are like the picturesque things where, like story tales. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like old
Fairy
country tales. Yeah.
Where, they live in the windmill and it's got the big picturesque blades, different from the crazy energy generating windmill.
We should look up what those windmills did because they weren't just there to be there.
I'm sure they had the same purpose, but I'm just picturing 2 different things in my mind. Anyway, this Holy Grail beer is not strong, but wow, it's hitting me.
But also on that topic, those windmills in the stories.
How do you say that so easily? Windmills.
I know.
Oh, I did
it. Those windmills in the story, fairy tale stories, we should look up what those old-timey windmills did because I guarantee they served some purpose.
Yeah, it was probably some sort of energy shit.
It wouldn't be electricity. It would probably be some sort of kinetic energy, like maybe it lifted hay bales, like they could pull a lever and the windmill would lift the hay bales up to the, I don't fucking know.
Okay, well, let's definitely look that up. But there is no alcohol percentage on this can of beer anywhere.
All right, well, back to the story. And then they wrote back. I thought of one job that I always wanted to do when I was in high school over the summer because it paid well, but my parents wouldn't let me do it because Dad grew up on a farm and said I would hate it. Looking back, he was probably right. The job was corn detasseling. Oh, fuck that shit.
I feel like this ties back to Leo's story.
Yeah. Essentially, farmers get teenagers.
Get them teenagers. They'll do anything.
Fucking best part. Essentially, farmers get stupid people to get up at the crack of dawn and trudge through muddy, spiderweb filled. Wow.
You did that. You did it.
Trudge
Good
through
job,
muddy,
Jay.
spiderweb filled fields and remove tassels, aka corn sex organs from corn,
Oh,
rain or shine.
they're desexing corn?
Yeah.
That sounds sexy.
Oh, yeah.
You
Most
wanna-
people wear trash bags as they work.
You want to
and
detassel this
gloves.
cone?
Ooh. This usually happens in the hottest part of the summer when the humidity is crazy high. Usually there aren't bathrooms handy either. So a lot of workers just go in the field.
That sounds lovely.
Signed, Trapped in Iowa.
I think both of those are definitely stranger than wind.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Windmill technician.
Yes. That's your shit.
My brown rice is ready.
Making all that noise.
Thank you, Trapped in Iowa, for that update.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone who has been listening to our weirdest jobs by state thus far, if you can think of a weirder job in your state than we have already listed, please email us at fmwlpod@gmail.com and let us know.
So here's the thing. I just want to throw this out there.
Okay.
I feel like these agricultural lands or states, agricultural lands.
Damn agricultural lands.
So I feel like these agricultural states, there are so many jobs on a farm that are so much like, what about like a pig sexer or
Well, they had chicken sexer.
they did have chicken sexer.
So I have not read ahead for all the states' jobs. We're just we're
Mhm.
going one by one. There's a funny one coming up.
Okay.
I'm going to do the first two, and then you're going to do the
What
second
states
two.
are we on?
We've got Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, and Nevada.
Missouri's fine.
So I'm going to do the first two, and you're going to do the second two, and then we're going to have a little laugh.
Okay.
Okay. Next state on our list, Missouri. Their weirdest job, dice quality inspector.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Seems weird because when I think Missouri, I don't think gambling, but maybe the factory that makes it is there. Let's find out.
Oh, okay. That's better than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that like someone diced an onion and they fucking inspected.
I'm
or
sorry.
someone diced a potato. Like,
Your
and they
squares
inspected it.
are not even. No, I think this is like gambling. Dice, game dice. Die. Okay. To ensure that anyone playing a dice game has the same odds of winning, dice are inspected before going to casinos or stores to ensure the cubes are equally weighed on all sides. Kearney, Missouri is home to a manufacturer of casino quality dice. So yeah, so the factory is there, but I don't think there's a big casino. I mean, maybe
There could be.
in Missouri. Sorry, Missouri folks.
Where's Missouri? That's like west of Michigan, right?
I have no fucking idea.
I'm pretty sure.
The California school system is horrible, and I am very bad at geography.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Missouri is kind of by Minnesota.
Somewhere in Middle America. Omaha.
Somewhere in Middle Earth.
Somewhere in Middle America. Okay. So if you live in Missouri, let us know if you know of a weirder job. Next, Montana, which I would not mind living in Montana.
No, it's
Not a lot of people, which sounds amazing. You would probably enjoy this job very much, Jay. Explosives worker.
I mean, I could see how you think I would enjoy that job, but I would not because I'd fuck something up.
Yeah. Okay. So, explosives workers lay and detonate explosives typically with the purpose of moving or loosening earth and rock. So that's kind of like a quarry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they do at quarries? Okay. Explosives workers are highly concentrated in Montana relative to the U.S. as a whole, in large part because of the state's mining operations. They have a lot of gemstones in Montana, too, I believe.
Cool.
Okay. I mean, that goes along with the mining.
Yeah.
All right. So that is Montana's weirdest job. Again, if you live in Montana, you know the weirder one, let us know.
Send it in.
All right.
Okay. It's
The
my
next
turn.
two are yours.
All right. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about Oh, look at that. Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Weirdest job. Corn detasseling.
Well, what the fuck?
I'll be a son of a bitch.
Look at that, Iowa.
For decades, tens of thousands of people in Nebraska have worked as corn detasselers in the summer. These workers remove the tassel or the top part of the corn plant
Sex organs.
so it cannot pollinate itself. This provides a better crop of corn.
So it's basically saying it can't masturbate.
It's what?
It can't masturbate.
Yeah. Yeah. We keep the corn from masturbating on itself.
Okay. So we just heard of this
Yes.
from our pal
But it's
in
funny
Iowa.
that we didn't know this was coming up.
No, I didn't. We didn't.
So apparently they do it in Iowa, which I don't think Iowa is far from Nebraska. I
Sure.
think they probably border each other.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
If you say so. They're somewhere in middle America.
Somewhere in middle America.
Okay.
All right. The next one is Nevada. And the weirdest job, get this, you're going to be surprised, hangover cure specialist.
Makes sense.
Because, I mean,
Vegas.
there's basically nothing in Nevada but Vegas.
Yeah. And the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, but that's like you could pee from Vegas and hit the Bunny Ranch.
That's in Nevada,
it's
right?
really,
Yeah.
it's in Pahrump. It's very close. 20, 30 miles.
You probably get a
outside of Nevada.
pretty good hangover at the Bunny Ranch.
I would
And
think so.
STDs. Sorry, that was not nice of me. They're probably very safe there. I apologize.
Hangover cure specialist. Las Vegas is known as a great city to party. But if revelers have a bit too much fun and drink too much, they will.
Yeah.
Their hangover can spoil their next vacation day. You don't. Okay, we'll get back to that.
I mean, you just have to
Fortunately-
be drunk the entire time you're in Vegas.
You don't go to Vegas for more than a couple days
Right.
because you get there afternoon, you drink, you wake up, you drink a bit of water and then a bit of the hair of the dog that bit you, and you keep going. And then the next day you recover and you drive home. That's it.
3 days tops in Vegas.
Fortunately, a number of companies in Sin City offer intravenous treatments that claim to rehydrate customers and cure their hangovers.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's the fucking hospitals.
They pump your stomach,
Yeah.
give you
They
fluids,
pump your
and send
stomach.
you on
They
the
give you
way.
some fucking saline and tell you to go back to the fucking hotel.
So, hangover cure specialist, aka nurse,
Nurse.
in the emergency room.
One even has a hangover heaven bus that can come to you if you're too hungover to leave your hotel room. Jesus Christ, it's the ambulance. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I mean,
I love how
yeah.
they twisted this. Like, oh, we'll give you intravenous fluids.
Hangover heaven, aka
Make
911.
you feel all so much better.
Oh.
And hey, we got a bus. You just got to pick up the phone and call 911.
That's right.
We'll send a bus to your hotel.
We'll send that.
We'll pick you up. You don't even have to leave the room. We'll pull a bed in, pull you out, take you to our
Leader.
hangover heaven.
Hangover cure specialist.
Yeah, and the doctor, specialist will
At hospital.
give you intravenous fluids and you'll feel good as new a week later.
That's right.
I love it.
I would say if you live in Nevada and know of a weirder job, but you know what? I feel like every job in Nevada is going to be fucking weird.
Like I said, there is Reno and there's Vegas.
Is Reno
And you
in
can
Nevada? It is,
yeah.
huh? Yeah. Okay.
and you can see the correlation between the two. There is no fucking there's nothing. There's nothing in Nevada but dirt and hills and
casinos.
mountains and Las Vegas and Reno.
I'm surprised they didn't do the porn, not handlers, the porn pushers on the street that
Oh, I know.
slap the cards at you and
flick
throw
cards.
the porn cards at you. That's a weird job.
You know, a weirder job would be the guy who drives around the fucking truck with the huge
with the the strip
Yeah,
club
or
ads.
it's not even strip clubs. It's like strippers direct to you.
Oh, it's like escort services
basically
and
the
stuff.
hookers.
Sex workers.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's a legit job.
It is. It was the first job for women. Boom.
Wasn't Mary Magdalene a sex worker? I don't know. Bible shit, yo. Okay. All right. So if you live in any 4 of those states or any of the past states that we have talked about and you know of a weirder job, please email us or leave us a voicemail. Those things will be at the end of our shit. Just listen to that for how to reach us.
What's our phone number?
I don't know. Apparently
313-818-3273.
That's right. Apparently we gave the wrong number, and our pal Jer over at Newcast dialed the wrong number and got some.
Oh, we might have just given it the wrong number again.
Sorry, Jer.
And that's okay. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. So call us, email us, hit us up on Twitter, all those fun things. Remember to leave a review for us or any other podcast on Podchaser to get that 25 cents donated to World Central Kitchen. And thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
Bye, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers. We love you. If you have a workplace story you'd like to share, email it to us at fmwlpod@gmail.com or call the rant line at 310-818-3273.
You can find Fuck My Work Life on all major podcast platforms. If you like our podcast, please consider giving us a 5-star rating on Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, or Podchaser.
If you'd like to become a patron, check out our Patreon, where you can get access to all kinds of fun perks like swag, bonus content, and virtual happy hours.
And of course, please remember to support indie podcasts. They're working hard to provide amazing content for you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Until next week. Bye, fuckers. Run from the ghetto, bird.
Our neighborhood's blowing up. Maybe they're coming after the squatter in our neighborhood.